Welcome to Baby Blue Memoirs. I'm Brandon Bordeaux, the founder of Baby Blue Memories, and today I'm not behind the camera, but I'm in fact in front of it. This is our first little kind of podcast where we'll try to go Facebook Live during everything else, but for now, this is what we're left with. So we're going to basically just talk about what's going on, sports locally. A lot to get to, of course, before April starts. It's the 30th of March. Let's rock and roll. Well, we're in the Elite Eight now in NCAA basketball, and we're in the finals of the President's Cup. So we're going to start off by talking to you a little bit about Adam C. We got minor hockey on the way. Plus, give overall Kahnawake minor hockey a grade this year. I know it's going to be interesting. It's going to be... Well, it's up for debate, really, but this is going to be my overall insights. And remember, this is about progression. This is about improvement. And then we're going to talk to you more about what the purpose behind Baby Blue Memoirs is. If you're following us right now on Facebook, you can ask me questions by inboxing me. That's Brandon Bordeaux. Or you could take a look at our Facebook page. And that's facebook.com/babybluekahnawake. You can just search Baby Blue Memories, and you'll be able to find us. All right, so the final of Adam C. in the President's Cup will take place tomorrow, and we're going to have that for you here. Kahnawake takes on the Vaudreuil Vikings. Now, the Mohawks were like a buzzsaw through the regular season after they ended up playing in C. They rolled through everybody, but Vaudreuil gave them quite the battle in the regular season as they only beat them the Mohawks only beat them 4-2. And to get here, the Mohawks won 7-1 over Il Perot, and then a 3-0 shutout against HRS, and then 3-2 over Mercier. Rohei Odaibo scored the hat-trick in that win the other night against Mercier. That got them into the final. They're going to be probably the favorites, albeit it's going to be a little bit of a toss-up because the game is in Vaudreuil. It's in the Vikings barn, and they are on a roll. They've won 4 straight playoff games. 4 very interesting down-to-the-wire kind of games. So if the game does go down to the wire, remember this team has an overtime win in the playoffs, and you figure like that's going to give them a lot of confidence. They believe that they belong here, and I think that's what ultimately is going to be a reason should they come out on top. Now, for the Mohawks, they gotta stop. They've been having some issues with pinching in. That's the number one thing I've noticed, is that sometimes the defensemen are a little bit too aggressive in pinching in, and Brody Shannon's been a rock behind his defense and net. But I just feel like if Vaudreuil's going to win this game, it's going to be because their counterattack is the reason why the Mohawks are sort of caught on their heels. But Kahnawake, let's not kid ourselves. They've outscored their first 3 opponents 13-3. There's a reason why, and they are that good. They have a very good first line. They have a second line, which honestly has looked like the better line in some games this year too. So, you can't really... It's almost like pick your poison. Do you want to go against a line where they have somebody that put up 30 goals, or the other line where somebody put up 22? It's sort of like a toss-up, and they make sure that they mix and match. They haven't had a full roster for any game so far in this tournament. Ocean Lahash missed the last game, and they were missing one player for the quarterfinal game against HRS, and they were also short a player against Il Perot. I think that's a tough thing. Like, we look at the Adam division. You watched a few of our games. We've seen, like, the Adam teams play. This is sort of like the tough thing for the Adam division this year is not so much the quality of each team and each player, but the quantity. Just 10 players on the Adam A's, 10 players on the Adam C's. It's like, and you look ahead to next year, this is where it's going to be loaded next year. The Adam division is going to be loaded here in Kahnawake. There's going to be a lot of kids that are coming up from Novice. I think every single player from the A team, except for one, is moving up to Adam next year. And to be honest, Novice is another situation that we'll talk about another day. But it almost feels like that player that's not eligible, that player that'll be Novice age next year, he's moving up. Because he doesn't need that extra year like some of the other teams and some of the other players might. because they're going to be treating it basically like mag, like a hyper mag kind of thing, where players are playing only five on five. Sorry, half ice. And I wonder if they're going to use like the air hockey nets too, like they do for the mag tournaments and such, or they're going to go with basically like a 4-on-4 kind of 4-on-4 game where they cut the ice in half. I'm not quite sure if that's the best thing. I think for some players that are just starting out, it's a good thing. But you're basically telling me that a lot of these players are going to be, I don't know, say 9 years old, and they would, in their first year at them, and they would not have a year of competitive hockey. At least not at like the LHTO. Because it really does make a difference. Like if you're wearing your community's colors, like, our black and gold, or over here with the white and gray Kahnawake Indians, Onondaga Redhawks over here. If you're wearing your community colors, it makes a difference. It really, really makes a massive difference in the way things come around. And that's something that you cannot replace. I know it's great to have like some kind of like an animal in front of your jersey, and we're this team and we're playing against that team, and you're in a house league and whatnot. But it makes a huge, huge, huge difference when you're representing your community. You're donning your hometown colors, and everyone that's on your team, or you're going to school with everyone on your team. And that's really what minor hockey, I noticed anyway when I was growing up. Like, I knew what division we were in. And every time I'd see like my friends who were on my team and they were in my school, I'd be like, hey man, what's going on? And you ready to kick some derriere? Anyway, I know I drifted off topic a little bit here, but Adam C. going for it all against the Vaudreuil Vikings. We're going to have that for you tomorrow on BBM. I have to say, to the head coach of the Vikings and to Greg and Kevin from the Mohawks, there's not really a whole lot that you can say. There really isn't like those magical things that you could do. But one thing I always tried to do as a coach, and I did coach basketball for 2 years, so I know a little bit as to how this works. Try to do something funny. Try to say something funny and just kind of enlighten people. Because not everybody's going to give that Emilio Estevez, like Gordon Bombay D2 the Mighty Ducks, where head coach, like that motivational speech where they say, oh, I'm Guy Germain, and I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we're all Team USA. Nobody's going to be able to come up with that. I think it's a simple formula of just make sure your kids are ready, make sure they're loose, make sure that they are willing to go out there and give it their all, because at the end of the day, second place, definitely not a terrible thing to look back on if that ends up being what happens. But yeah, Vaudreuil got here by virtue of a 1-0 overtime win against Beauharnois in the first round. Round of 12, they beat Valleyfield 5-2, and then a 3-2 win over the HRS Predators. And then they beat the team that had the most points during the regular season at Adam C. in Soulanges by a score of 2-1. So it's going to be very interesting to see how things work out and how it goes. I'm not really in the mood to make any kind of predictions at this point because I hadn't seen this particular Vaudreuil team play, and I feel confident in our Adam C. Mohawks going forward. But Vaudreuil is going to be a challenge, and the game is in their barn. Let us not forget that. All right, we're going to take a quick time out here. We're coming back with a look at overall how minor hockey has fared this year, and also a look ahead to some more action. Springtime's around that corner. We have GMAA lacrosse. We have the start of baseball. We have so much. You're watching Baby Blue Memoirs. All right, so we're back with part 2 of Baby Blue Memoirs for the 30th of March. I'm Brandon Bordeaux, and welcome back. We're going to try to get through another interesting, I guess you could say, part of this, and that would be giving Kahnawake Minor Hockey an overall grade for 2018-19, as well as the League Toronto West Hockey, or LHTO, so that's actually League Hockey Toronto West. I should know this by now. I happen to live with a Francophone wife. She'd be able to help me out with that a lot. All right, so if you look at it from the perspective of pure stats, it's been a better year for KMHA, than last year was. I think you're starting to see a lot of those goalie clinics, especially. I noticed like some clinics had actually like 8 or 9 goaltenders head on down there, and that was really good because some of our division, actually one division completely, had just first-year goalies. We didn't have a single goaltender at one division who had experience, and it wasn't the novice division. We didn't have a single goaltender, I believe, at Adam, playing for Kahnawake, who had previous experience as a goaltender before. So I think from that perspective, and to see the talent that we've put out there on the ice, it's and then you look at some of the happenings throughout the leagues. Novice B going 11-4-1. Novice A winning games, and remember, Novice B I think won 1 game last year. Novice A hadn't won a game in 2 years. So you look at it like that, and then you look at our Pee Wee teams, both winning playoff games, both scoring big upsets in playoff games, and the Pee Wee A's actually almost won against the number 1 seeded team in the round of 12, so they were really close there as well. And you look at it from that perspective, and considering what we have to work with and how hockey is by far not the most popular sport in our community, it was a very good year. It was a very, very good year for our teams. Yeah, I know there's going to be some people that will go around and say, like, oh, well, there's a little bit of controversy surrounding this and surrounding that. But we're not perfect, and every single person everywhere throughout the KMHA deserves to tap themselves on the back, but also needs to know that, hey, moving forward, we do have to get a little bit better. So I'm going to give KMHA an overall grade of B+ for the 2018-19 year. You had one team we mentioned go 11-4-1. You had another team finish as the first place overall team percentage-wise during the regular season. That was the Adam C's. And then you had improvements at the Adam A level, and you had an improvement as well at the Bantam level, where our Bantam A's should have probably won 2 playoff games. I mean, they were so close in both of those games. Our Novice B's were really close in both of those games as well. And moving forward, I think we have 2 years left in this current contract with the LHTO. I think it's going to be something really interesting to see if we are going to remain here or if we want to move on. I mean, let's be honest. Should Kahnawake be playing Rigaud in the same league? Should Kahnawake be in the same league with Il Perot? Should Kahnawake be in the same league with Vaudreuil? I really like the whole St. Martin, Chateauguay, Mercier, Kahnawake brotherhood. And you see it whenever these teams play head-to-head against each other. The matches are great. The matches are intense. There's great sportsmanship all around. I would like to see it go back to that and maybe have like that one team that emerges and then advances out of the division, to play in the regionals, instead of having those 4 spots determined by by position amongst the league, which is like, I don't know, 100 kilometers from one another. Like, it took me 45 minutes to get from my work in Kahnawake to Collège Bourget in Rigaud the other night. I don't know, at single letters, are you traveling 45 minutes to play other teams? I know Huntington does, but even Huntington, like, if they go to play against St. Martin, they're not going 45 minutes. Let me know in the comments if you believe that Kahnawake and Chateauguay and Mercier should be playing in the same division as Il Perot, Rigaud, etc. But yeah, we're going to give Kahnawake Minor Hockey Association overall grade of B for the 2018-19 season. And we're going to come back right after this. Our final topic of the day, we'll discuss what this is all about and how you could participate on a Baby Blue Memoirs. Like to thank Justin and Luann, who both asked us questions on our Facebook page at facebook.com/babybluegahnawake. Already answered one of the questions. That was from Luann. That was one of our earlier discussions where we evaluated minor hockey for 2018-19. So Justin wants to know what's my personal favorite part of broadcasting the games. And honestly, it's not really so much like I have, like, every game that I watch, first off, is fun. You get to see the kids out there having the time of their lives, and they really enjoy, you know, the opportunity that they have with playing minor sports and being at that age where it, you know, it's a golden time, really. Like when you were 8 or 9 years old playing hockey, I was playing hockey. I was lucky to find someone who gave me equipment to play in nets. I just enjoyed every single opportunity which I had. That's exactly what you see in a lot of these kids. And the best part about it really is going back home, or, you know, getting people that are interacting on our YouTube page or sending us like Facebook likes, etc., and just having that opportunity to see fans, coaches, players all happy. It's the most wonderful thing about it. So I'm really appreciative of having that opportunity. And to be able to have done it throughout the year this year, I think was just, it's an honor. Like, this was a little bit of a fantasy, like a dream 5 years ago. I never thought it would have come to fruition, and it truly has. And like those of you who have done service and have asked Baby Blue Memories, yours truly, to film games, you know that I don't make $1 million off of this. I don't charge a lot. It's not really like, I don't feel like it would be in me to charge a lot of money. I just feel like each and every single one of these kids should have that opportunity to be able to watch these games in the future. I know I wish I had my games recorded, but if I did, then, you know, we probably recorded like WrestleMania or something over those VHS tapes, which we were using way back when. And that's basically my favorite part, is to be able to see the reactions of the fans, reactions of the parents, the coaches, saying that they used it for their game film, or they used it just to watch, or they hooked it up to the TV, you know, with the HDMI, and they watched the game together. That's what this is all about, and I'm really, really happy and honored that this community and other communities as well, especially Pierre Fall and DDO, have gotten me aboard and have asked me to film their games, and I look forward to continuing this in the future. All right, so here we go. We're going to go a little bit more in depth with some of the things that we plan on doing. There's a lot of things, actually, and it's not just like one simple little, well, we'll take it from here and we'll kind of roll with it. I don't just want to preview games. I don't just want to look back, even though those are some of the main things that I feel like we should be doing. I don't think there's enough like sports coverage locally in our community. But I really feel as though the fans, the hockey parents, the players, the coaches, training staff, volunteers, you name it, you should all have a voice. And I'm more than willing to answer any questions on here. You just hit us up on Facebook. You can find us at facebook.com/babybluegahnawake, or just search Baby Blue Memories. We'll have we broadcast various sporting events. I'm for hire too for that. And this is just like a little side thing to try and engage our community, because sports brings us together. And that's why I wanted to start this page. And I did it 2 years and some change ago alongside my brother. It's to kind of bond communities together. Like, sporting really is like a bonding thing. And there's so much history. We focus a lot on the negative history between ourselves and our neighbors, but sporting has always been, historically kind of a root. You plant the roots of healing through it, and being able to watch these games together with your family, whether or not you're from Kahnawake or from Chateauguay, etc., Beauharnois, St. Martin, Ile Perrot, it's meant for you to always remember that place and time. Like, you were always there. You'll always remember how you felt, where you were. It's like, basically, for me, I would say the equivalent is like journal keeping. I used to have like a journal, and I think I wrote in one, and I wrote it for my first entry like in '08, and I remembered exactly how I was feeling at 19 years old. And I remembered where I was. I remembered like what was going on in my head, and it's something that I feel you could live forever through. So we have a lot of things coming up in the next little while. Kahnawake mixed softball action is going to be starting soon. GMAA lacrosse, GMAA hockey is actually going on right now. And we also have minor lacrosse, we have senior lacrosse, junior lacrosse, President's Cups in Kahnawake this year. There's so much to get to, and I know that we can all do this together. And I'd really like to talk about my father, Michael Daibo, who's a proud sponsor for this very first broadcast. And we really have to give you, the participants and the community, the opportunity to get your words in. So don't be shy. Ask questions here at facebook.com/babybluegahnawake. Send me an inbox, and I should be able to respond to your questions here on the show. So once again, best of luck to the Adam C. Kahnawake Mohawks and the Vaudreuil Vikings. We'll have that game for you tomorrow morning here on Baby Blue Memories. And also best of luck to everybody that will be playing in Vaudreuil tomorrow, because it's the President's Cup finals throughout the day. Let's go, Kahnawake. Let's support our Mohawks. They're in the finals, that game time tomorrow morning at 9:15 at Arena Dorion. That's going to do it for our first podcast of Baby Blue Memoirs. You know, I'll go for joining us. I'm Brandon Bordeaux. Onigi Wahi.